stop and think about what's holding a jet engine together at 35,000 feet? Or what keeps a massive wind turbine spinning in a storm? It's not just metal anymore. We're talking about a whole new class of supermaterials. But here's the thing. Hidden deep inside them, an invisible flaw can be forming, a tiny, tiny imperfection that has the power to topple titans.
Right, let's get into it. We're talking about composite materials. You know, things like carbon fiber, fiberglass. Materials that are engineered to be ridiculously strong, but also incredibly lightweight. They're the backbone of pretty much every high-tech industry you can think of. Aerospace, clean energy, you name it. We are building the future with this stuff.
And that's where the problem kicks in. The very process that gives these materials their amazing properties can also, at the same time, create these microscopic, hidden defects, a fatal weakness that's literally born alongside the material's strength. So what are these flaws, and how do you fight an enemy you can't even see?
So let's talk about why this is such a big deal. When you're working with materials that are designed to be stronger and lighter than steel, your margin for error is, well, it's basically zero. A failure isn't just a crack. It can be absolutely catastrophic. And the cause? It can be something almost impossibly small.
Okay, get this. The impact of these little flaws is just staggering. If you have just a 1 to 3% increase in tiny empty spaces, what we call voids, inside a carbon fiber part, you can reduce its strength by up to 20%. That is a huge drop in performance from something you'd never even know is there. And here's the really crucial part. These aren't damages that happen over time from wear and tear. No, these are flaws that are baked into the material from the very beginning. They're a direct side effect of the super complex manufacturing process. Tiny variations in pressure, temperature, or how the resin flows. The enemy is literally created from within.
So, if we're going to figure out how to fight them, we first have to know what we're looking for. Let's take a tour of the most common types of these internal defects. Think of it as a most wanted list for material science.
First on the list, delamination. And it's pretty much exactly what it sounds like. Composites are made by bonding many thin layers together. Delamination is when those layers start to peel apart. The analogy of book pages coming unglued? It's perfect. The whole structure just loses its integrity and starts to come apart from the inside out. Next up, we have voids. Just imagine tiny, microscopic air bubbles getting trapped in the resin as it cures and hardens. These little pockets of nothing become stress points. They're weak spots where cracks can start to form when the part is under load. Not good.
And rounding out our top 3, we have wrinkling. Now, the whole secret to a composite's strength is that its reinforcing fibers are laid out in perfect alignment. If those fibers get wavy or even fold over on themselves during production, you get a wrinkle. And it's not just a surface cosmetic issue. It's a fundamental break in the material's internal structure, a major weak spot.
Okay, so we've got these invisible enemies lurking inside our most advanced materials. How in the world do you find them without just smashing the part open to take a look? Well, that's where the defect detectives come in.
The key here is a whole field of engineering called non-destructive testing, or NDT for short. You can basically think of it like medical imaging, but for materials. It's a whole suite of techniques that lets engineers peer deep inside a finished part, say wind turbine blade, and spot these flaws without leaving so much as a scratch.
And there are a few key tools in this NDT toolkit. You've got your basic visual inspection, of course, but for the internal stuff, you got to go deeper. Ultrasonic testing is like sonar for materials. It sends in sound waves, and if they hit a flaw, they bounce back and reveal it. Then there's radiography, which works just like a medical X-ray, giving you a picture of the inside, making it awesome for spotting voids or messed up fibers.
And this is where the science gets really cool. Finding defects is one thing, but what scientists really want is to see exactly how they form. So they use these specialized high-pressure chambers with little windows and high-res 3D cameras to literally watch wrinkles and voids get born in real time during the manufacturing process. It's incredible. For decades, all this NDT work has relied on highly skilled humans to look at the scans and interpret the data. But these scans create mountains of information. So the next big leap forward isn't just a new kind of scanner, it's a new kind of brain. And this quote just nails it. Artificial intelligence is tailor-made for this exact problem. It can chew through massive volumes of complex data from these scans and spot incredibly subtle patterns that a human eye, no matter how well trained, might miss every single time.
When you put them head to head, the difference is just night and day. A human inspector gets tired, their judgment can be subjective, and it's easy to miss one tiny anomaly in thousands of images. But an AI system, it's completely objective, it is blindingly fast, and it never, ever gets tired. It gives every single pixel the same level of scrutiny, every time.
So what's actually in this AI toolkit? Well, it's a whole bunch of really specialized algorithms. Some of them, like CNNs, are geniuses at analyzing image data, perfect for finding weird spots in X-ray scans. Others are designed to just sift through data and find totally new types of defects, patterns that engineers might not have even known to look for.
And the workflow is so powerful because it's so simple. First, the NDT scanner does its thing and creates a fire hose of data. Then, the AI algorithm just churns through all of it, automatically flagging and classifying anything that looks like a defect. The bottom line? The engineer gets a super clear, super reliable report in a fraction of the time, so they can make better, faster decisions about a part's safety.
All of which leads to this really fascinating final thought. Right now, we're getting amazing at finding flaws after they're made, but as AI gets smarter, it could help us predict and even prevent them from ever forming in the first place. That would mean stronger, more reliable materials than we've ever had. So the question is, if we could actually manufacture perfect materials with zero hidden weaknesses, what could we build next?